Okay, here we are. Dreadysays, something completely different now. This isn't something we've done before, but we're doing people interviews. What they're doing, why they're doing it, and here we are with Martin.
Yeah. How you doing? You okay?
I'm all right, mate.
Thanks for turning up.
Thanks for the warm welcome.
Yeah. Well, the sun did that.
It did. It did. I've got trucker's tan down one side
yeah.
now.
Yeah. We've both got white t-shirts underneath, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay. Can we just pause that right there?
No, it's
yeah,
all
it's all right. Thank you, my darling. Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, and with the magic of editing,
Yeah.
we'll come back in here.
Oh no.
See, we're getting pieces of it. No, go for it. No.
I think I've got my own coming. Yeah. Thank you though.
So
everybody just wants to feed me.
I know. So what you're seeing is we haven't actually said what this is about yet or what the event is, but as you can see, it's super friendly, it's super lovely. And what is this and where are we?
Okay, so we are in the middle of the Norfolk Broads, okay, which if you didn't know is on the east side of England. It's the bit that sticks out. It's the pretty bit. And so we're in the middle of the Norfolk Broads, which is a national park, and we are surrounded here. We're on Ferrygate camping here that's got its own access to the water. And from that access to the water, we've got 200 kilometres of inland navigable waterway. And this is the Paddle Skedaddle, which is a 27k point-to-point race. There aren't too many point-to-point races in the UK, so point-to-point race, 27k, stand-up paddle, kayak, OC, and surf ski race. So anything that you can paddle is welcome at this race.
I didn't realise you had access to that amount of waterway.
So we've got 200 k's of inland navigable, then there's 260 k's of waterways that are also navigable and non-navigable.
Right.
And then 3 miles down the road, we've got the Norfolk coast. So we've got over 200 miles of coastline as well. So
That's
we are...
Great Yarmouth.
Great Yarmouth is in this direction. Then you've got Sunny Honey, Hunstanton up at that direction.
Cromer just over there.
Yeah, Cromer's kind of there. So we've got the whole coastline on our doorstep 3 miles away.
So you could actually get all the way through to Huntingdon from here.
Yeah.
So
sure.
it's pretty much the Viking invasion route.
Yeah.
Through. Yeah.
So historically, Norfolk or Norwich was going to be the capital of the UK.
Yep.
Instead of London, because of its water links to Great Yarmouth, which was going to be the port.
Right.
So before London and the Thames, it was going to be Great Yarmouth and Norwich. Yeah, which is why there's a big cathedral there and all the rest of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful place to be, and we're very lucky to be able to live here actually.
I'm annoyed and jealous in equal measure. You know, it's 2 hours for me. I've just got into wing foiling.
Yeah.
And I'm into my sup surf, so it's Wales for me, Devon out of season.
Yeah.
Cornwall's become too expensive and impossible to park. But I will be coming to the East Coast a lot more this year because flatter water, you know, when the winds are favourable as well.
Yeah. We have got a little bit of surf here at a place called Sea Pauling as well. It's like there's some bays.
Yeah.
Go to Bay 1 at Sea Pauling. If it's working, it's working.
Sup racing event, it's a weird thing because you turn up and just everyone's friendly, everyone's into it, everyone wants to talk gear. Even though everyone was exhausted, I turned up, cracked a beer open about 1 o'clock this afternoon, racers were turning up, gentlemanly wave, but then everyone just wanted to chat. It's just such a nice, friendly environment. And what I'm going to show you after this little interview is you've got a sauna.
We got a sauna in a horse box.
Yep.
We got a pizza van.
We
got the massage tables going on. We've obviously got our cafe over here, which barista coffee and cakes and all that sort of stuff. It's just the whole thing. I've been doing stand-up paddling cracking on for like 10 years nearly, and my first event, I learned to stand up paddle by somebody gave me a board and said, "Can you keep up?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll have a little wobble."
How hard can it be?
Yeah, exactly. And now I tell people it's not that easy because it's my job, you know. But then 2 weeks later, I entered my first 10k race. So my history with stand-up paddling is because I used to be an Ironman triathlete. I used to do lots of triathlon and endurance mountain biking and stuff. I got an injury. And somebody gave me a board and a paddle and told me to keep up. And I went, my God, this could be the answer to my endurance kind of prayers, you
Lust.
know. So I entered a race and I had a horrible time. I spent most of it on my knees and stuff. But from then, I kind of got the bug for stand-up paddle racing from that 10K. I learned to be an instructor. I then became a trainer for the ASI. And then latterly, I became a trainer for the Water Skills Academy, the WSA. And through all of that, I just took up racing, particularly endurance racing, which is why I was able to create this one, the Paddle Skedaddle, which is a 27K. It's a really nice introduction to stand-up paddle endurance racing. And then in July, we've got the Norfolk Broads Ultra, which is the bigger brother, which is 84K, either over 2 days or all in one go.
Wow.
And I've raced that as well, and I've done all right, got on the podium and stuff like that. And it's a very different vibe. The ultra racing, there's an awful lot of dedication needed, and like we spoke about earlier, technical ability to actually become really super efficient. So there's an awful lot going on, but the vibe that you get people, you get people that have paddled 80 sort of 4K, and they'll stop at the finish line and they'll wait for the last person to finish.
Yes.
With a beer in hand on their boards, but why not?
Yeah,
it's a great vibe.
That's what, it's not surprised me, but it's been nice. Everyone, there's no sort of negative competitivity about it. It's all like, we're all in this. We're all, can't speak for myself, but they are
next
all
year.
next year, definitely next year. I'm doing it next year.
He's in it next year.
Everybody's just buzzing off each other, and just supporting each other. And the stories I've heard from people who hopefully I'll get to interview later, where they've gone out as teams, not at this event, but at other events, and have actually stopped and picked people up that have fallen behind. And I think someone was telling me earlier, they were like a 2-3 man team, and they came back with like 7 or 8 people, just scooping them up.
Well, it's a bit like today. We always give an award for the paddler's paddler. So that's for somebody who has shown self-sacrifice, or they've shown they've had a really hard day, or they've just basically had a bad day, or something's challenged them on the water. So we always give them a recognition for that.
Yeah.
And there was a guy. Sorry, pizzas flying everywhere. That happens here, flying pizzas. And so this guy, somebody fell off their board. They were struggling to get back on. Another racer came up and said, "Are you okay, dude? Can I help you?" Helped him, held his board, climbed back on, made sure he was okay. Everybody got going, and then they cracked on with it, So, yeah. So, do you want to hang on?
Hang on. Get in here.
So, Chris? No.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Chris.
Oh,
So this is Chris
Chris
from the East Coast Pizza Company, who comes here and does our races. So, and he's just got my pizza. I've been waiting for hours for it, but it's worth it. So, but sadly, it's now going to leave and go over to Nat, and I'm not going to be able to eat it. So sorry about that. But thank you for coming. Cheers. I see pizzas are cool. There we are. Great recovery food.
But we will. You can get away with carbs when you're burning it.
Sure, my background is sports nutrition, so I study sports nutrition, and when you're doing something like this, it's actually very difficult to keep enough carbs in your body anyway. So, you're probably going to end up losing weight, but at the end of the race, but eating 3 times what you'd eat in a day anyway.
You would hate my diet that I put myself on 2-3 years ago to lose the weight. It's the eat less, move more, drink beer diet.
Well, the Tarahumara tribe, who are a running tribe in South America, they go on a 24-hour corn beer bender, and then they go run 100-mile foot races in bare feet.
So
because they're so carbed up on the corn beer.
So
it's okay.
I started fasting 18 hours every day, swimming 1-2K at least 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
And I was fine fasting, so you don't hate it.
Well, there's also one thing with endurance racing as well, because of course the key to endurance racing is fuel, and as soon as you forget to take your fuel, and you start that downward spiral, life becomes very horrible. It's not a nice place to be out on the water when you're bonking. So fuel is absolutely massive. So the more you can eat out there, call it an insurance policy. You're always going to keep going. You're always
keeping that reserve in the tank.
Yeah. So you're never gonna dip. But people forget people think they're superhuman, and people think I don't need food, you know, but actually you just do. And actually, the cool thing about it is that you've also got to fuel with endurance racing. You've got to fuel the mind as well.
Right.
So my background in sports nutrition, I know what's great for the body, but what's great for the body in endurance paddling might not necessarily be good for the mind, because you need to keep that bit happy as well.
Yep.
So there may be a detrimental effect to your sports nutrition you're taking on by having some solid food, but actually, if it's good for up here, it's a nice kind of thing to get over. If you know what I mean, you're okay with it.
So treat yourself to a bit of cake.
Well, you know, so yeah, tuna sandwich when you're out. My things are like white bread, tuna sandwich when I'm out if I want a big endurance thing, because it's savoury and it's just really good for up here, and you actually look forward to having it. You know, it's a bit of a treat, and then you can go back onto your sports nutrition, your gels, and all that kind of stuff.
Right, right.
Yeah, but fueling the mind is as important as fueling the body when you're doing endurance paddling as well. So.
Noted. Because my daily protein is 5 fish fingers and a tin of tuna with a bit of light mayo.
Right. Okay. So my night before race, if I'm doing an endurance race, it will be fish chips and mushy peas. Right. So because you've got your fat, you've got your carbohydrate, and you've got protein.
Yep.
Okay. Or a big fat curry. A big fat ruby is the same thing. Same
I
thing.
can't do spicy food. I'm a delicate flower. So, right, quickly tell us about the other events, and then I'll let you get back to your pizza.
Yeah. So, like I say, the Paddle Skedaddle is a 27k point to point. We then move on in July, the 2nd and 3rd of July this year, to the Norfolk Broads Ultra. So this is the bigger brother.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 84 kilometre stand-up paddle or paddle race if you're kayaking or OC or surf ski or anything like that. Anything to do with the paddle, you're welcome to paddle it. But it's 84 Ks. It's either done over 2 days, split 42k per day, different course, or you do it all in one go. So you paddle the non-stop, which I've done on a few occasions now, and it's interesting.
And that's different sort of award classes, podium classes.
We tend to bundle the 14-foot hardboard and inflatables all together. Then we narrow down on the classes. Here at the Paddle Skedaddle, we tend to include lots of different classes because it gives everybody that little opportunity to. It's a smaller pool.
There was a lot of classes. And...
Yeah, it's a smaller pool for them to do well at, if that makes sense. Then you move up to the Ultra. It's a bigger game. It's a bigger deal, and then we tend to sort of like narrow in our focus on the fleets there. So, but still the same sort of fleets, just we narrow them down. But the Ultra is an awesome event. The Ultra is also a precursor, I suppose, or a really good training paddle to the 11 Cities, which is a 5-day, 220k event in Holland. Okay, which you can either do non-stop or over in 5 days. So this one, being 84k in July, is a real nice feeder into Holland, into the 11 cities, because the terrain is the same. Holland and Norfolk were joined one time in history, so the reed beds, the terrain is exactly the same. So if you want to train on this terrain, perfect for the 11 cities. So all three races kind of have a little flow, a little story into each other.
So, wow, I mean, yeah, those numbers, it's difficult for me to compute because I've not started.
It's just one paddle stroke in front of the other until you start there, you finish there. That's it.
That's it. And I suppose I have one question, because I'm getting an ice up race board soon.
Yeah.
What differences? I know there's different. It's almost like a weight class, isn't it? You've got a different podium.
Yeah.
So presumably with the ice up, you are slower. You're not going to.
So look,
please explain.
On paper, an inflatable board is always going to be slower than a hardboard, because a hardboard you can create a defined hull shape. You can create a board to do a specific job. You can do a board to glide better, to do whatever. Okay, an inflatable is a structured bag of air.
Yep.
Right, effectively. Some of them have got some structure down them, either at the front or down the sides, to try and keep them a bit more rigid, to try and make them react like hardboard, but still,
you've got pseudo rails that they can add to them.
Yes, like all the carbon fibre spars on the red boards and stuff like that. But essentially, it's never going to be as fast on paper as a hardboard. But then we always forget we need to then stick a human on top of it. Okay, and then you stick a human on the top, and then all of your data goes out the window, because you've got height, weight, paddling ability, paddling efficiency, paddling style, the paddle you're using, the nutrition you've done. It's just a completely ball game. So you're always going to be slower, but I've done my first ultra race I did was on a Nash Nisco 12.6x30
Right.
inflatable,
Quite.
and I got third place.
Okay.
So what we're saying with that is that it's down to the paddler and the board.
Right. So the one paddler like yourself, with exactly the same nutrition, mental state, health, endurance, everything above, would be better on a composite or rigid board.
Yes, that is suited to them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people try to go for the narrowest board.
Yeah.
And the narrowest board on paper again is quick, but then you stick somebody who doesn't fit that board, so maybe they're too tall or too heavy, or they haven't got really good balance, then they're going to spend more time trying to keep balance than going forward.
Or hit chop and then the wheels come off.
So you need to find a board. So regardless, I'm sometimes faster on my 24-inch Nash Javelin than I am on a 22-inch NSP I've got, because it's down to the conditions.
That is narrow.
Yeah, so
that is narrow.
So, but if I've got the right conditions and I'm on my 22 NSP, I'm like I'm 9.5 k's an hour.
Right.
Where the Jav is a little bit wider. So there's a lot of selection to be done. But you can't say wholeheartedly that an ice up is going to be better or worse than a hardboard or
Too
vice
many
versa.
variables.
Yeah, it really is. What you can be sure of is generally an ice up will be slower than a hardboard for sure, because of what it is generally. But then all those variables come into play as well. How's that for an answer?
Yeah, variables. I am excited. I am excited to try it out. I wish there was a pre-skedaddle daddle.
Well, we have a really cool winter series here in East Anglia.
Okay.
So, which is only like top about 8k.
Right.
And then we have a challenger class, which is about 5k.
Right.
So the winter series is really good, and we kind of finished the winter series in like March anyway. So it's not too long to wait till May.
Yeah, and the water's not too bad at that, and I've got my triathlon wetsuits, which are lovely and snuggly.
So this is called the East Anglian SUP Initiative, EASY, EASI,
nice.
East Anglian SUP Initiative, and it's 5 of the clubs in East Anglia. We club together. We put on a winter race for people to cut their teeth into racing before the racing season starts.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool.
I think you'll see me for that. I've got so much on, I don't think I'm going to get anything done in anger this year. But if I do the winter races, because I'm not a fair weather paddler,
right?
I'm not even a fair weather swimmer. I might be wearing my 753, but I'll still be river swimming.
Yeah.
Breaking the ice to get in.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, okay.
Well, hopefully that's
kind of that was nice.
Totally overwhelmed everyone and everything, and it's a good job we didn't have our friend Mungo on there, because he really would have overwhelmed everybody. Just your knowledge of everything. But no, it's what I can say about stand-up paddle endurance racing, that it's really good fun. It's hard work, but the reward is so much bigger, I think. Everybody's happy, everybody's friendly, everybody encourages people to get on. There's a process for you to go through. If you want to build up to it, there's a brace for everyone. So, I think it's awesome. So.
Perfect. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother.
Thank you very much for coming along. Appreciate it. Yeah.
And well, there'll be links down below to everything, because I won't remember all of this. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for the warm welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Yeah, cool.
And well, we'll see you again, especially about that break. It's not a local break that you've now ruined, and all the local surfers are going to be like, "Oh, he's said it now."
No, but they will sniff out an imposter, an incomer. They'll sniff you out.
Yeah, I'll hide the hair. They'll never know.
Awesome. Well, it'd be cool to see you again, and you're welcome to come and race anytime. Give us a shout.
Will do. Right, I've got to do it now, haven't I? It's going to happen. I'm going to have the board. All right, guys, you take care. I'll catch you for the next one.